Welcome into the college football betting show presented by the World Sports Network, WSN. Tanner Kern joined alongside Brock Boynton. Davey covers in the house as well. Week 11 of the college football season. It is coming down to the wire now. Teams that are undefeated, teams that are ranked, trying to solidify their playoff spots. And we get to break it all down here on the show today. How you boys doing, Davey? We'll start with you.
Gosh, this season is just flying by. It's scary to think that this season's already almost over. I was just thinking about NFL too. I mean, obviously the bowl season gets carried out so long, but week 11 already is insane. I just love how tight the race is right now. I mean, what teams are making the playoffs, what teams aren't. I mean, this race is tight, and honestly might be the hardest year to pick.
How you doing?
It's so there's so many questions up in the air in college football, and I think that's what's most exciting about this year that stands out from any other college football years that we've had is because of the unknowns of college football right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I look at this overall first college football playoff ranking too. My biggest gripe is that the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are in the playoff right now. If the season ended today, we know that Brock is the South Bend, Indiana guy. So, what's your take on that?
It's terrible. I mean, you lose to Miami. Miami does what the ACC's been doing all year, a joke, and we are letting them in for what of the brand. I mean, I would rather see a team like Vanderbilt, which I know we'll get to. It's like Dave was saying, I would rather see a Diego and bring the aura that he brings than a Notre Dame team that, I mean, hasn't been. I mean, yes, they went to national championship last year, but for the most part, only people know them for the movie Rudy. So it's, I don't know. I think it's a joke that they're going to be able to get into the college football playoffs.
I think too, when you just look at Notre Dame as a whole, like losing early benefited them. And I don't know if they have that loss right now, obviously to Miami, it's a different conversation, but there's so many teams in the SEC that I would take over Notre Dame. And also too, the fact Texas and Oklahoma are not in the playoff right now and Notre Dame is, that's an issue. I also have a problem with the top 12. Like it's the top 12 teams make the college football playoff, but those 12 teams don't get in. You know, that's another issue I have. So, Davey, I don't know if you've looked at the college football playoff ranking at all. Do you have any thoughts on anything?
I like we keep saying, and it's such a close race. And I know we talked about it a little bit before the show, but I love Diego, honestly, and I would hate to see him not in the playoffs, even though they did just lose to Texas. Big loss, probably pushes them out. Texas 2-1 odds. I know we're going to talk about that as well. I think that's a great pick. I mean, I see them winning out. Georgia doesn't look like a good football team. They might knock them out of the playoffs in reality. And the final game of the year against A&M, that's going to be sweat show. This BYU Texas Tech game, big game this week for those two teams, huh? So, I mean, yeah, I haven't looked enough to give you full opinions on playoffs outside of obviously we know Indiana's going to make it, Ohio State's going to make it, Alabama. I mean, they would have to do something insane to not make it. Ole Miss looks like a lock to get in. Notre Dame is interesting to me. I mean, they're what they went from plus 200, plus 300 to minus like 350, something like that. I think the odds are now. It's I mean, I don't see them making a run at all if they make the playoffs.
I want to look up Notre Dame to not make the playoff right now. I think that could be a good bet because there's a lot of things that could happen to knock them out. It's going to take, if they go undefeated, it's probably going to take like a Texas winning and potentially, a Texas A&M losing this weekend kind of thing. So we'll figure that out. But Notre Dame right now not to make the playoffs plus 290. Texas to make the playoffs right now is plus 198. So I'll start with you, Brock. If you had to make one bet there, Notre Dame not to make it or Texas to make it, knowing both these things may actually not happen, which one would you take?
I'm taking Texas to make it. I just think looking ahead of what Texas has in front of them, I think they have a great opportunity to put Texas back on the map of what Texas was and hasn't been in the history of Texas football. I mean, this is a culture thing now. You have a bye before taking on Georgia, which Georgia has a lot of holes. And then you have your big one. Your big one is Texas A&M at the end of the year, and that's at home. I'll give me Texas at home all day long. I just feel like that's a way, to me, that's a safer bet of Texas making the playoffs and something I can get behind.
9-3 Texas can definitely get in. So, Davey, what are you taking, Texas or Notre Dame not to get in?
I would take Texas to make it. I see no way. You know, the beginning of the season, you have all that hype on Texas. Everybody's bought in. Everybody's believing in it. They fall apart, and I think it was just too much for Arch. I think Arch is back. I think he's going to make a run. And like Brock said, I don't see him losing at home to A&M, and I think Georgia's overrated. I don't think they'll keep up. I think Texas is going to take them out. And I think that'll secure their playoff spot. As soon as they beat Georgia, I mean, you got to assume it goes from plus 198 to probably even odds to minus 150, somewhere in there if they take out Georgia. All they got to do is win at home against A&M, and I think that, I mean, they got to be favorites in that game. You got to assume they're going to probably be 3-point favorites.
Yeah, I think it's 2 right now, just 2, 1.5, 2. They'll probably get up to 3, especially if they beat Georgia. They're a 5-point dog on the road to Georgia next Saturday, so we'll definitely be talking about the show on the show next week. But we'll start with the games we got for Saturday, obviously tomorrow. Texas Tech versus BYU. BYU travels to Texas Tech. They are a 10.5-point underdog right now, BYU. Feels like a lot of points, Brock, and I know you got some futures tied into Texas Tech, so how do you see this one playing out?
I just need Texas Tech to win. I just need them. You know, I agree. I think 10 points is a lot. And they can't even throw the tortillas on the field. So, I mean, college game day is going to be there. I mean, you're going against a bunch of Mormons. They're going to be fired up, be ready to go. I mean, I just think 10.5 points is a lot. But I do think Texas Tech wins the game flat out. I mean, the ball is in their hand to really screw up a good thing that they got going. I mean, this is a $60 million football roster. The same thing that Ohio State did last year. Give me that. Money talks, bullshit walks. Give me the money.
Agreed. Agreed. I mean, that's a lot of points. I think I feel like the public's probably going to hammer BYU a little bit and think that's too much points. And I think we're all on the same page. That's a lot of points. I see something backdoor kind of crazy happening. I have Texas Tech to win all day. I mean, I don't see them losing this game at all. I think they got the better quarterback, even though I do like Bear. I think Bear's a dope quarterback. I love that he stepped in and just took over. But, I mean, you got to take Texas Tech here. At 10.5, though, I don't know. I probably won't touch that line. I might find something live and expect a little bit of a late backdoor for Texas Tech to take that game.
So, you know, looking at just this game specifically, if BYU does go on, loses this one, then these two teams ultimately meet back in the Big 12 championship. Brock, would you be? I mean, I know we have to figure out what happens tomorrow, but how would you feel about a rematch there if Texas Tech wins and covers in this game, wins convincingly?
I mean, it just sets them up for disaster, in my opinion, or for the championship game. I mean, there's 2 ways. I mean, they either come out of that championship game like just another ass beating, or letting BYU hang around and then obviously losing that game. But it goes. I mean, Texas Tech's defense is legit. I mean, they're fast. I mean, watch them tomorrow. They cover ground, and I just think BYU is too basic in their offense and then defense. And I think Texas Tech's going to be too deep. And let's just watch this. I don't think that they win tomorrow and then lose in the championship game. I think they win both.
All right, there you go. What about you, Davey?
Yeah, I mean, I think Texas Tech's going to win. They're going to put on a show. And like Brock said, money talks. I mean, these guys put together a roster to go compete this year. If you get that rematch in the championship, there's no way Texas Tech doesn't just dominate that game. They might hang around this game. It might be tight and Texas Tech will backdoor to cover or something crazy like that at the end of the game. And spread will probably be similar for the championship game. And Texas Tech just beats the hell out of them and goes into the playoffs just convincingly. We're going to win it. You know, they got the culture, they got the team, they spent the money. I mean, that's not a bad take to take them to win it all, honestly.
I know I want to say about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I got them to make the semifinals for the playoffs at plus 800.
Oh,
so that's good odds.
Yeah.
That's good odds. And you know, the thing is, with all those markets, last year I jumped on those markets early when they were posted, and then the season ends and they post like 100 times more of those markets, which is like, I try not to jump in on like to make the semis, to make the championship and all that, because there's so many different markets. You can bet conference winner, you can bet seed winner, you can bet side of the bracket. So I'm trying to stay away. That's a good play by you, Brock.
Yeah, it was a great find. I mean, that's impressive.
Okay, so moving to the next game, Texas A&M, Missouri. Texas A&M undefeated on the road at Missouri. Missouri is going to start a backup quarterback here. We were just watching some breakdowns on this game. I think Missouri's a live dog in this one, but it's going to take a big effort from them. So, Davey, looking at this game, Texas A&M, Marcel Reed coming to town. How do you see it playing out?
Yeah, I mean, there's no way A&M loses this game, right? I guess there's that dog mentality in Mizzou. They have Ahmad Hardy. That dude's incredible. LSU found the run game in the first half a little bit, started making some turnovers. Marcel Reed made the turnovers. They kept it tight in the first half. I could see that being a really close game first half, convincing of, damn, we should take the dog. They're going to win this game. They're going to look better. And I think A&M will just get it together in the second half and pull away and dominate the game. I think the spread's at 6 right now, if I'm not mistaken. I think, that's another tough game spread-wise, but I would lean A&M minus 6 points in that game.
All right. What are you going with, Brock? I think he's on the other side.
I'm leaning Mizzou.
Uh-oh. I love it.
It's at home. We saw on how they came out and should have won that Alabama game if the quarterback would have hit the wide open wide receiver at the bottom of your screen. By the way, also giving up having 3 turnovers in that game as well. I think if Mizzou can make Reed turn that ball over and just make him think with his head and not let him just run around on him, they're going to be able to get the turnovers. And I think if they can able to manage that clock with the run game, good things will happen for Mizzou. This is one of those games, as Saban would say, A&M's getting too much of the rat poisoning, and I think they've been reading all the media. They've been seeing on how good they are. They've been hearing on how good they are, and this is one game that you can very easily lose on the road.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think this is just a spot where I worry about a backup quarterback with Missouri. I mean, it's obviously wanted to worry about a backup quarterback, but if you get into a spot where you have to go score, if you can't run the ball, as they should be able to run the ball, but if Ahmad Hardy's not having the biggest day in the world and you're going to be forced to throw with a freshman quarterback, how are you going to respond? And that's my biggest fear here. Would probably be a stay away from me, but if I did pick, I'm taking Mizzou plus 6.5 at home, so I'm going to be on Brock's side.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, Marcel Reed, we've seen him make the stupidest decisions in the world against LSU. And then, Kelly just threw the game away. No clue what the hell happened in that second half. And I don't think Mizzou will throw the game away, but I think the second half is when the first half spread is 3.5. I would take Mizzou all day on that first half spread, 3.5. I literally just watched this game right in front of my eyes as I clicked into it, change from 6.5 to a 7-point spread on the dot. If it's 7, I'd probably lean Mizzou, but yeah, that's probably a stay away game on my part too.
Okay, well, we are kind of on the same page, kind of not, but you know what? Tomorrow, Vandy versus Auburn. Auburn at Vandy. Vandy coming off getting spanked by Texas, and I know they came back and climbed back in the game and lost by 3. They got spanked. Texas said we're done for the day. We did our job, and they gave up. Now it almost hurt them in the end, but still, I think Texas spanked them. Now you got Auburn coming to Vanderbilt. Auburn just fired their coach. Interesting spot here, Brock. We'll start with you. How you feeling about this SEC matchup?
I think Diego does Diego. I think there's still hope. I mean, one thing, I was on Texas last week, but being able to see Vandy come back when in the meanest time didn't really matter, but they made it interesting at the end. If they can have that same mentality coming into this week's game, I don't even think it's going to be close.
Yeah.
I think they cover. I think it's a Diego Pavia show. I think he's going to do everything in his power to make sure he's noticed on the platform that he's going to be on tomorrow. He's going to have some incredible numbers. I think he's going to rush one in, and I think Vandy covers.
Well, Davey, what do you think?
I agree. I think it's Vandy. I wouldn't say the playoff hopes are in their hands. There's got to be a lot of stuff that happens for them to make the playoffs. But I think one thing that's in their hands is if they can beat the shit out of their remaining schedule, which they got a tough one. They got a really tough schedule to finish out. But if they can just dominate this schedule, and Diego has the right mindset, I don't think that loss killed his pride. I agree they got dominated. I think they're going to beat the hell out of Auburn, and they're going to try and keep their playoff hopes alive. Their defense is going to stand tall this week, and I think they're going to win by 17, 21, 24 points. I think they'll blow this game out of the water.
I think it's one where they're going to roll. And we were talking, me and Brock, before this about who's going to win, blah blah blah, and I was like, I think Auburn potentially, and I think about it, Vandy's going to win. But for them to get in the college football playoff, it's going to take a lot because right now you go Auburn, Kentucky, and then 23rd ranked Tennessee. None of those wins are going to get you in alone, and you got in front of them right now at least Texas, Oklahoma, Utah, Virginia, Louisville, Vandy, which I don't think any of those teams deserve to get in outside of Texas. But if Texas can go on and win the next two games, their next two hard games, so I'll take Vandy to cover. It should be a good one.
It should be a great game. So I want that Diego energy back, baby. Let's go. Dog in the end zone, hitting Heisman poses. He's still got to have that. You got to bring it.
I don't know, but what's the loss going to do? Are they just going to go try to beat up on a team? I know that's how kids operate, but you get knocked out of the college football playoff, get smoked by Texas. What's it going to look like? Do you lose the swagger? That's my biggest fear in this game because, again, 10-2 is great. 10-2 is great for Vanderbilt, but it's not. You're not getting in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if Texas finishes 9 and what is it? Or what are they? 10-2, 9-3. What is it going to be? They got 2 losses, right?
2 losses. Mm-hmm. They're going to be 10-2.
Yeah, 10-2 if they win out. Yeah, I mean 10-2, 10-2. You ain't getting in over Texas, especially after losing.
Your losses are Bama, Texas. That's it. That's pretty good losses.
They got the schedule to speak for it too. Kentucky's a tough team in reality. They've been playing teams tight. They don't look terrible. And Tennessee, if they can beat Tennessee to win out too, it's an open road, but they got a lot of stuff that's got to fall in place for them.
Yeah. And then our last game here, LSU at Alabama, the big one. Mm-hmm. Brock, we've been starting with Brock a lot, so we'll save him for the end. Davey, we'll go with you first. Alabama is a double-digit favorite, I believe, still. It is, let's see here. It is 10.5.
15, 11.5. What is it now?
10.5.
10.5.
Where are you leaning?
LSU, I think they're going to come out and play. I think they liked Brian Kelly, but I also think they might be bought into the fact that he was throwing this team away and that we're better than what he had us doing. I think they're going to come. They're going to fight. I think the game being in Bama is going to be a big favor for Bama. I think they'll keep it tight. First half, I see them covering a spread. I see them keeping the game close. I think the only way that Bama covers this is something big in the fourth quarter, similar like what happened in Vandy. Hey, let's knee the clock out. No, let's give the ball to Bam and let him get a touchdown last second. I see that being the way Bama covers. I don't think LSU lets it happen, and I think they'll cover and keep it tight at that 10.5 point spread.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I know we were talking before about Bama, find a way to cover late. I think this is just a spot where I don't mind LSU, and I think they're going to be able to keep it close. But Brock, what is your thought process here?
Ty Simpson Heisman game.
Let's go.
You said that multiple times this season.
I've said it multiple times, but hey, you're at home against the rival. It's always look at quarterbacks in the years past that Bama that's gotten the Heisman. This is the game that they've gone off on. It's either this one or Auburn that they throw up stupid numbers. And if he can throw for 300, 350, a couple touchdowns, I think Alabama comes out. They also had a bye. They're well rested. They much deserved bye after what they just went through the past 4 or 5 weeks, and be ready to finish the second half of their season out strong. Like I said, at home they cover it, take the points.
Yep. All right. Well, we are kind of heads up there, so we're not going to use that in the parlay. Every week, guys, we place a parlay to do our best bet. So we each do a pick we agree on, and then we all alternate for one pick. We have not hit one yet, just as a precursor, so where to put your money. We'll start with the pick we all agree on. We do it live on the show. So where are we leaning towards, boys? We agreed on what Tech. We agreed on Tech. We didn't agree on Tech points though.
Just flat out winning.
Well, we could win. We could win one every week if we wanted to. If you guys want 4 heavy money line picks, we could win one. I just don't think people want that. I think they want to go big.
Yeah.
Who wants to tail a plus 150 parlay? They're trying to get this plus 1100 parlay to hit here.
Yeah.
They're chasing. Anyone that's watching this video is hungry. They're chasing all the odds they can get. They're parlaying anything they hear on the show.
They want to eat. So I mean, we all agreed on Vanderbilt. How about this? Let's since it's week. Yeah, so let's give them a little safer play this week. Let's hit one so we get a little momentum going into next week. So I'm gonna go. I'll go Vandy. We'll take Vandy on the money. Vandy on the money. It's only 6.5 points. Vanderbilt. Okay. So we got Vandy on the money line, and that is 245. That's a good line right there. That's a juicy money line. Perfect for a parlay. We didn't talk about Oregon, Iowa. That was one that I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's upset alert written all over it. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be nasty. We saw what Oregon did at home with the Wisconsin team when it was rainy and nasty, only put up 21 points. They're going to be waving to the kids in the fourth quarter, and I think Iowa can flat out win that ball game.
Yeah.
Come in with a flat out upset. I think that's realistic, honestly. I mean, Oregon hasn't looked that great this year at all. Wisconsin's an awful football team. As a diehard Badger fan, it hurts my heart to watch that team play football. It is so embarrassing. I mean, I couldn't tell you the last time that I didn't tune in for a Wisconsin-Ohio State game in my life. And this last, 2 weeks ago, I didn't even turn the game on because I knew what would happen. I was just like, I can't watch it. I'm over it.
But I feel like that's also that's Ohio State's schedule right now. I mean, I'd be curious to know on how many people actually watch them on a week-to-week.
I don't think anybody does. Really.
Yeah, right.
They haven't played anyone. Secondly, it's the Big Ten. It's like you just said, them beating up on Wisconsin. That's not fun to watch.
Yeah, heartbreaking as a fan to watch. I can tell you that.
So, all right. So we're gonna go Vandy on the money. Vandy on the money. You want Iowa just outright upset?
Oh, my pick is Florida State. Florida State. They play Clemson.
Florida State, what, money line?
Yeah.
Florida State money line against Clemson plus 1.5. I don't mind that at all. All right, Florida State. All right, Davey, let's go. What do you got?
All right, so this turned into this is going to be a leg parlay here. I am going to take TCU, Iowa State over 57.5.
TCU.
Iowa State has the worst secondary I've ever seen play football. I love Rocco Becht. I think he still has something to play for because he wants to prove that he's a good quarterback, and I think they're just going to go out there and shoot this game out, and I can see it being a 70-point game.
BC or Iowa State TCU over 57.5. My pick is going. I'm going to buy up a point with UConn. I'm going to take UConn plus 10.5 at home against Duke. Place is going to be rocking. This is a game they prepared for all season. 40,000 strong. Huskies football is back. They can win their 7th game with this. I think Duke's very good. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Duke's that good. I think UConn can play with them. They got a quarterback who's 27 years old. 7th season. Again, place will be rocking. So I like UConn plus 10.5 by an alternate there. We got over 57.5 Iowa State TCU. Florida State money line and Vandy on the money line. That's plus 844. That's plus 844.
There we go.
3 games at 3:30, and then you can finish it with Florida State at night at 7 o'clock. So.
And if you want to make it a little safer, you can buy Iowa State TCU to that 55.5 line. Never a bad idea. But
did you say 55?
Like big odds.
Did you say 55.5?
No, I said 57.5 because I like it. I think it'll be a 70-point game. But if you're a safe guy and you want +4, +500 parlay, go ahead and buy it to 55.5. I think that's a good line.
Do an alternate of like 69.5. I think 70 points are going to be scored.
Let's buy it up, baby. Let's go. 70-point game.
Buy it up and take the over 70 points. But anyways, guys, any other thoughts before we sign off here?
I mean, it's the second half part of the season, man. I mean,
it's like almost done. We're in like playoff time.
Yeah,
basically. It's crazy.
It's flown by. I mean, hopefully your teams are looking. Hopefully they're getting bowl eligible. But other than that, I mean, have fun watching us.
Yeah. Well, guys,
hopefully you ain't a Wisconsin fan, because if you're with me, we don't got much to root for. You better be betting a lot of money on college football, because that's the only way it gets interesting these days.
There you go. Well, we'll be doing that tomorrow, guys. Can't wait for the slate. We'll be back next week talking about the big one, Texas and Georgia. Hopefully Georgia doesn't get upset this week by Mississippi State. Makes that game a lot less important. And also, I think, going to make Texas's task tougher if they do lose tomorrow. Just facing an angry Georgia team. But anyways, guys, we'll be back next week talking about that. Appreciate you joining us on the College Football Show here at the World Sports Network, and we'll talk to you next week for another episode.
Cheers.